Hello and welcome to Chair Yoga. Today is week 5 of the 8 Limbs of Yoga series that we're doing. And this week will conclude the study of the Yamas and the Niyamas. We are on the last 2 today. The Yama that we're on today is called Aparigraha. Aparigraha translates as greedlessness. And in the Niyamas category, we're on the final precept there, which is called Isvara Pranidhana, which is surrendering to God. It's a beautiful write-up, so I absolutely loved everything about these descriptions right here in the book that we're following. So I'm going to go ahead and use them as my basis. So this, like I said, this concludes what I picked up a little saying that I thought was appropriate, that this is the rules of the game of life according to the yoga tradition. So greedlessness or aparigraha. Why do we accumulate so much stuff? So that we raise that question and for our consideration, why do we accumulate so much stuff? Perhaps it's because we get pleasure when we buy something we've desired. Perhaps shopping and acquiring a lot of material possessions may be an attempt to fill an inner emptiness and distract us from the lack of meaning in our lives. Or perhaps we give ourselves status through the amount of and quality of our possessions. Just some ideas about why do we accumulate so much stuff. Accumulating an excess of material goods does not make our lives meaningful. Duane Elgin, in his persuasive book, Voluntary Simplicity, writes, "We need little when we are directly in touch with life. It is when we remove ourselves from direct and wholehearted participation in life that emptiness and boredom creep in." So some thoughts to consider about the notion of aparigraha. Non-grasping is another parallel understanding of that. Isvara Pranidhana, surrender to God. This niyama has been translated variously as devotion to God, yielding of all actions to God, contemplation of God, or surrender to God. Isvara is one of the many Sanskrit names for God. All religions, large or tribal, have a name for the Supreme Being. Yoga is not a religion, but it does acknowledge the indivisible mystery. The practices of yoga are not at odds with any religion and can actually enrich one's relationship to one's religion. However we envision or name God, we realize the human mind cannot possibly grasp the full picture, and that even our vision of God is limited because we are limited. We are part of a great reality that is too big for us to see or understand. Everything is intricately interrelated. Whatever is done or said reverberates throughout the cosmos. It is said that the beat of a butterfly's wings affects the world's climate. All we can do is act on our best information with the best knowledge we have and with the kindest motives, and then leave the results to God. Isvara Pranidhana is surrendering to God. Okay, well, let us begin our practice on that note. We're going to begin in a standing position, so I'll let you choose how you'd like to find your chair in support of that. I'm going to move mine a little bit to the side so that I have a little bit, you have a little bit more visual connection for me. But if you want to put yours right out in front and always have it here for all the movements we're doing, that you just be behind the chair, that's perfect. That's perfect. So you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing because, you know, I've always got the added necessity of trying to be visual to the whole process here. So let's begin by finding a little wider stance and making sure you feel real balanced, no problem with that, so that you can close your eyes now and turn your palms facing forward. Now a softness in the knee. Let's take a few deep breaths right here as our transition. Deeper breaths, becoming aware of our breathing process, noticing how our body moves when we breathe, all the various ways we come into breath awareness. Let's soften the mouth, relax your facial muscles. And then just set your intention, on being fully present, fully connected to your body, changing gears, being fully, committed now to this practice of the asana of yoga. That's the movement. Because now we've learned, we've begun to really understand that yoga is so much more than just that. The movement does not define yoga. There are very, so many different layers for us to come to a better understanding of this tradition. Good. Let's sync up the breath now. Maybe gently opening the eyes, letting those palms come together up and overhead. Exhale as you bring your hands to your heart. Inhale back up. And exhale, go wide. And we'll do 2 more of those. And remember, it's just at your own speed with your own breath rhythm. The inhale is the lift. The exhale is this big expansion. Good. And if you're comfortable with the stance that you've taken, just stay with that. I want you to start moving your body weight from foot to foot. So of course that's going to require a little buoyancy of the knees. No locked knees here, not at all. You want to have bending knees, facilitating this movement side to side. And then I want you to really get kind of sassy, so you're getting your pelvis to go a little more exaggerated. So not only are you shifting weight from one foot to the other, but you're really getting the hips to move side to side. Really try to exaggerate, stretch them into, way into their range of movement from side to side. See if you can find that limit. And then be willing to stay with that experience. You're staying with the sensation in your body as you go side to side and feel that fluid nature of the pelvic region. Let's add something with the arms now. So I'm going to suggest you just get your arms out and then just move side to side as your hips are going. I've got my arms at shoulder height. You might decide on something different. Turning your head from side to side, another option. If that makes you dizzy, just continue to, look forward. Really exaggerate the movement of the hips. One hand comes to the waist, and now let's see if we can just lift and hold. Oops, I'm going to get my hips the other way. There we go. So hips pushing out, arm over the top of the ear. And then we'll try the other side. Hips go out, same side arm, stretching up across the ear. And just alternate that a couple more times where you just switch and feel that stretch. You want to feel this whole length of the body from the foot that you have now pressed into the ground all the way through the side waist, up armpit, and all through that whole length. Maybe you change your gaze to look toward your arm, or you look at the floor, or you decide what would be nice for your neck. Yes, I know we held that a little bit longer. Let's push the other hip, and same thing, find that full length. This leg is straight now. Notice that? Your straight leg, as you get your hip over there, you can straighten that leg. That's kind of your standing leg here. That's the supportive, the base of this. Don't forget your drishti, and feel the fullness of the exhale. One more time on each side. Definitely change your gaze. Do something different than what you've done. I want you to feel a real imprint of your foot to the ground. Let's have a deeper breath all the way in. Exhale it out of your mouth. Switching sides. Imprint of your foot to the ground. Change your drishti. Big breath in. Exhale it out. Come back to center. And then I want you to just start taking some high steps right in that very same width that you have your feet. You're just going to take some high steps up, trying to get those knees up. Chair's not a bad idea. I'm kind of finding myself just giving it a touch. I know it's there. Keep your head up so you feel the length of your body. And then I want you to start moving so that your legs come closer together and then they go wider apart. So you're taking your time to go wider with your stance, with those high knees, and then you start bringing them back to center, almost like, hips distance apart. Arms just to support it. Maybe I'm just, figuring this out with you. Maybe hands at the hips so we can feel the grounding. Our hands at our hips will help you feel more grounded. That's the technique. Notice how your breath has changed. You're going wide and then back in and that. So you don't have to match me, but that's the idea. We're going wide and then we're going to go, back to more hips distance apart, a little narrower. And then back. Let's just meet with that hips distance apart, walking in place feeling. And then back to both feet to the ground and make sure your feet are parallel now. Make an imprint with your feet so you feel like you're more connected to the ground than you normally are. You feel that as a, intention that you're really trying to make an imprint. And palms are going to lift up. So it's not like your fingertips are reaching to the ceiling, but your palms are. But we can't crowd our shoulders up. So the shoulder blades have to stay down and back. So when we lift up, we're not, we don't end up all crunched up. So make sure the shoulder blades are down and back and you're reaching your palms up while you make that imprint with your feet to the ground. Now let's connect with our breath. Be more intentional about finding that full cycle of your breath. There's a softness of your knee. They're not locked. Let your breath be as loud as you need it to be. Check what your neck wants here. What if you look up at the ceiling? What if you just start turn to the right and then you turn to the left? So I want you to explore movement for your neck while your palms are stretching up to the ceiling and your feet have made this imprint on the floor or on the ground. Feel that length of your strong body. Good. Let's finish it off. Big inhale as we reach the palms up. Exhale, you're going to sweep those arms back behind you and interlace your fingers. Remember now, we've been practicing. Try a different way to interlace. Don't interlace them the way they just naturally, magnetically seem to go. See if you can find a different slot. Feel your hands a little differently and interlace there. Shoulder blades now are really drawing in toward the spine, in toward one another. Hands are coming back away from the back body. Now you don't need to move just because I did. Remember that. You're just holding it and feeling that stretch through the back body. Let's try a forward fold. So if you need to reposition yourself from your chair, because we're going to bend those knees and take a little dive down. Let your head come down, 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 and keep your eyes wide open. Hands are reaching up toward the ceiling. Those interlaced hands, knuckles are reaching up toward the ceiling, and you're folding as deeply as you can to let your belly come down towards your legs. Just think of a fold. You're folding your body, and the crease of the fold is at your hip joint. Let's deepen the breath. Let's get your head heavy. Let your head be heavy. Don't keep looking up. That's just going to be trouble for your neck. So just continue to look down and underneath yourself
So the crown of your head is reaching toward the floor. Let's release the interlace hands. And so our arms are now just in this ragdoll position. We're going to bring our hands to our shins just below the knees and lift up. Lift up to the place where your legs have straightened out. And let your chest bone stretch toward the front of you. Let your chest bone stretch toward the front of you. Gives you a chance to straighten out the bend of the knee. Feel that. Feel that nice stretch through the back of your legs. Let's jump our hands all the way up to the very crease of our thighs. Try to squeeze your elbows in towards your waistline and then come up all the way to standing. Now we were in an inversion for a while there, so let's find our mountain pose and just catch up with our breath. Maybe you want to have your hand on your chair here so you can steady yourself. Eyes open or closed, your choice. Deepen the breath, catch up. Don't start moving until you feel like you've really reconnected to the breath and you're ready to go. Good. Let's inhale up, palms come together up and overhead. Exhale to the heart. Inhale up and exhale straight on down. Inhale up, exhale straight on down. Inhale up, exhale into a T shape with your arms. Palms are facing up, thumb is pointing behind you. So we're just moving between some various range of movements for the shoulder. So I've just introduced a couple, and it doesn't matter if you've got a little different pattern going on. Now let's see if you can reach back. So let's add that to it. Arms come up, maybe they go into the T, but when they're, instead of coming alongside the body, just let them keep reaching back behind you. Let's hold that, and then we'll go back to the movement. Any pattern you like. But when you come down, let's go back, pull them back. Just add that one little change. Check in with your knees. There should be a slight bend there, not locked. Excellent. Finish it out, whatever it is you need to kind of finish out your pattern. And then I want you to just shake that out. All the limbs just shake. Let's get another wider stance so we can move side to side in a little more fluid movement. Let the arms reach back. So you're turning as far as you can. You're twisting from this standing position. At your pace, I feel like I got a fairly quick pace going for myself here, and you may not choose that. You may decide I'm going to slow that way down. So you never have to match up with me in terms of speed. I'm just following my own lead, and that's what I need you to do. Next time you're reaching back, let's just hold that and turn the head, and look what happens with your feet. I've got one heel up. I'm on the ball of the foot. So I want you to just notice how you naturally arrive there, and then feel all that, kind of pay attention to it, cooperate with it, so that you can turn your whole body into a twist here. That back arm is kind of leads the way. Now deepen the breath and feel your body in the twist. Try to feel all the little nuances of experience there in your body. Remember which arm is reaching back. So we'll take a time to just kind of go back to the flow. That's a reset. That'll help us to reset the body, smooth out the edges. And then we want to try that twist on the other side. For me, I can go much further back, So there's different, range of movement available for me on this side. Breathe deep. You want to find that full exhalation. Notice the experience in your body everywhere. Be just as alert as you can
to the sensation in your body. Exhale completely now. And we'll come back to our neutral position. I want you to go back to those high steps that start wide. Hands at the hips helps you stay grounded. Also, the chair is another way that you might stabilize that movement. And then we're going to start bringing that in. Exploring a range of movement from external rotation of those hips back to the more neutral position of knees bending forward. Excellent. Let's come back to our mountain pose here and take a pause now and catch up with the breath. Let's position the chair like I've got it. So I want you to position your chair so that the back of the chair, the backrest is available for you to use your hands to support it. So bringing your hands there, let's come into that extended fold, that L shape. Open your heels a little wider than normal. So your heels are a little wider and stretch through the back of the legs, buttocks and hips pulling back to the wall behind you. This is another opportunity to straighten out your legs. Try it. See if you can eliminate some of the bend of the knee. Remember, you're trying to get weight distributed into the feet, even in the toes. There's a tendency to lean way back into your heels and you practically could lift your toes off the floor. I want you to counter that with awareness to bring some body weight into the full surface of your feet, including your toes. Now deepen the breath. Pay attention to how you're managing the weight of your head. You got to hold it up in some ways. You're trying to keep it between your arms so your neck is aligned with the spine. And then it'll be well supported and your neck will not have a problem with this. Pull back through the buttocks one last time. When we come up, we're going to come slowly up and bring the right foot forward. Left foot stays back. We're bending into the right knee. Those hip headlights are shining straight toward the back of the chair. Shoulders right over the hips. So feel that right alignment of the body. I don't know why, but the chair just works for me. It's like such a great way to sort of square yourself away around, using that chair as a guide. Hips, shining that way. I can almost feel my hips, my shoulders lining up in the same way. So quite a bend in that front leg, trying to keep the back heel down. And we're going to lift up. If you can lift both arms, great. Shoulder blades slide down the back. One arm at a time allows you to keep one hand on the chair. That works well too. I've got my right knee bent. So if your front leg is the front, if you're the same as me, right knee is bent. We're going to take the right hand, so matching up that same side, to go all the way around the back to touch that back part of your thigh for another twist. We've got that handy chair connection. And you're turning your head as much or little as your body allow you to do, the kind of mobility you have in your neck today. Let's deepen the breath. Come back to neutral. Stay with that front leg bent, back heel down. And again, we're going to bring those arms up. See if you can bring palms together. And just bring your hands into this mudra where your index fingers are together. And otherwise, you've interlaced your hands. It's like the steeple. Remember doing that? This is like the steeple we're creating. Fingertips together. This is the Kali mudra. It's a powerful goddess in the yoga world. Feel how your arms alongside your head give you all sorts of stability through the neck and spine. Broaden through your chest cavity so you feel like your rib cage is expanding as you breathe. It's powerful.
Exhale now, bring your hands back to the chair and feet come back, and take a moment to reset. So however it is you want to move your body to reset, maybe you need to do some movement of the spine. I'm going to relocate my chair. You probably don't need to. Just want you to see things differently. And again, we're going to turn toward the chair and start stepping back. Open the heels a little bit wider. Arms kind of crowd in towards your head so you feel the stability for your neck. You're pulling back through the hips and buttocks and distributing your weight into the full surface of your feet. Try to straighten the back of the knees out. Let's just see if we can pull back and get them a little straighter. Just try any amount. Maybe you need a stronger breath to help you with that. That Ujjayi breath, that sounds like the ocean deep in your throat. Feel it in your shoulders. Just notice in your body what's going on. So we start coming forward, lift up. We're going to step forward with the left foot, right foot stays back. And we start squaring ourselves to the chair. Bent knee left side or front leg. You know, you're just making sure one leg is in front, one other one's back. Maybe you did it differently. That's okay. Just as long as we change sides. Hips are square, shoulders seem square. Pull the belly in. I think I neglected that cue. We want to make sure we feel very strong in the core. Keep those shoulders down as we lift arms up. Maybe one arm at a time. Maybe no arms up. Maybe that's just not working well for you. Still, you can participate any amount and breathe your way in. And that's real good yoga. Stretch back through the calf on that back leg. See if you can press that heel down a little more. Feel that calf stretch. Let's do our twist. So the left leg is bent. So that's the arm. We're matching up that arm. Left arm is what's going to reach back behind us to that standing leg behind, that straight leg back. And that's what will give us and create that twist. Pay attention to how much you can move yourself, turning your head, adding to the twist. One more full breath cycle. We'll unwind the head and the shoulders. And one more time, lifting up. Kali Mudra. We clasp the fingers together and let the index fingers raise up. Arms are alongside the head, maybe even pulling back a little bit. If your shoulders have started to give you a little more range of movement. Feet to the ground, feel that stretch of the back leg. Excellent. Hands are going to come back to the chair. We'll step back. And when you come back into it this time, I want you to get a little wider stance so you can do some squats. So you're bending your knees and squatting into that. So allowing your hips and buttocks to drop low, and you got the nice support of the chair here. Now you can shift your weight a little bit. You can kind of do a squat that leans toward the right and then a squat that leans toward the left. So just introduce some different movement. You'll feel it differently. Deepen the breath at the pace you want it to be. You're just moving as little or as much as your body is giving you the cue is okay. And then from your squat, can you release the chair, or you could walk yourself down the chair. You can release your hands to the floor, look down and underneath yourself. There's a slight bend in the elbow. Again, this can be done with hands on the chair for support or hands to the floor. I got palms all the way down, looking down and underneath myself. Doesn't this look familiar? It feels familiar. This is what we've often done from a seated position. We're coming up slowly, rounding that back body. Keep your chin tucked towards your throat. Your head's going to be the very last thing to come up. One vertebrae at a time, you're bringing yourself to a standing position. Keep your head low until you're all the way straightened up. Don't move a muscle. I want you to stand here and breathe. Catch up with your breath. Let your body adjust. Once you feel like you've started to catch up with your breath and you're ready to settle in, let's move our chair back to the center, I guess. At least that's what works well for me. And we can come into our seated postures now. So we're finding our way to the chair. I'm going to use my block between my ankles. Not going to use the backrest. We're coming forward. Same rules apply. And find your seated mountain pose. Elbows are kind of snuggling into your waist. Let's open the palms up on top of our lap and close the eyes so we can kind of reset not only body, but mind and spirit as well to connect with this posture, with this practice. We've done a lot of movement. So we're feeling that prana inside. We can really feel the flow of the pranic energy in our body, can't we? Let your breath be as strong and noisy as it might need to be. You're just paying attention to it, accepting it, joining in with it. I want you to start this connection of grounding. So feet, let's start with the feet, feeling that imprint of our feet to the earth. For me, I've got the block there, so I'm feeling the connection of my ankles to the block. That is a tremendous source of grounding for me. I want to feel that part of my legs connecting. I feel the strength of my ankles. And then making your way up through the shins and calves. Eyes closed if you haven't done that. I can't remember if I said it, but it would be good to have eyes closed so we could really focus on this inside view. Up into the knees, into the thighs, top and bottom. You're feeling the whole strength of your thighs. Pull the belly in and up, in and up. Good way to engage that abdominal wall to support those pelvic organs. Feeling your hands and your forearms and up into the upper part of your arms and the shoulders. All of the back, the whole back body. And we lift and lengthen and feel the very crown of our head now. We're located there. Breathing in and breathing out. So we've had this experience of ourselves from the soles of our feet all the way thoroughly connecting to every part of our body, all the way up to the crown of our head. Beautiful. Inhale up with me as we open the eyes again. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, go wide, and we're going to move through our cow and cat. So I want your arms to glide past the chair, right alongside that chair's frame, and feel that arch of the back body. And then rounding through, dropping your chin to your chest. I don't know about you, but starting and standing and moving as much as we did, I'm feeling this to be really a different experience of the movement, and I like it. I feel really energized. So there seems to be a real flow here that I'm enjoying. So I hope that's true for you. Exaggerate the movement of the spine. Keep your breath connected to the movement. That's the vinyasa. It's a really good technique. Stay with that movement connected to the breath. So even if you can't remember when you're supposed to inhale and when you're supposed to exhale, just find a rhythm
that connects that to the movement. Couple more now. And we're going to meet with the roundness of the back and our chin tucked in. And then I want you to come into the fold. So I want you to reach, reach, reach. Your arms are coming forward, like towards your screen, maybe. Reaching, reaching, so you can lay your whole chest and body down onto your thighs. I've got my arm pits right onto my kneecaps. And I'm opening my feet because it fits better, making sure ankles line up with the knees. So just opening up my feet a little wider, no problem. Feeling the groundedness of that. Palms are fully connected to the floor. I don't have fingertips down. I brought my whole palm to the floor, but you may find it to be a little different. Let's find a big belly breath. Surrender the weight of your head. You want your neck to feel like it's getting a relaxed traction experience here. But you can gently turn side to side, like you're looking a little bit to the right and a little to the left, gentle movements. Pay attention. Big belly breath. Release your back muscles. See if you can just release that through that exhale. You feel like, oh, softening the back. Hands are going to jump to your thighs. Now slowly get your head to neutral. Let your head come up and hold that. Squeeze your elbows in towards your waistline. So your body is in this angle, that diagonal angle of the spine. Squeeze everything towards your belly button. So it feels like everything is trying to tie itself to the belly button region. Even your knees, everything is trying to find that energy of the belly button here. Breathe. And then release your arms away from the, so it's like you're either airplane wings or, something. It just feels like you've expanded. Let your arms come free from the body. And now you're going to press your feet into the floor like crazy. So your thighs are active. Now stay with that diagonal angle and let your arms come up. I'm going to try to bring them up alongside my ears. You might decide more forward because this really lengthens through the back by bringing your arms all the way up. So you decide if there's that much strength available for you today, or if you need to kind of shorten it by bringing your arms maybe halfway up. Use your legs. You really want to employ your legs here so your poor back doesn't have to do everything. The more you can engage the legs, the better. We're going to fold again, so continue to reach out, reach forward, lay yourself down onto your thighs, surrender the weight of your head, look down and underneath. I'm going to scoop my block underneath so I'll have some freedom of movement, so you might do that. Jump your hands to your thighs. Squeeze your elbows in, but just come slowly up, slowly, slowly, all the way up to you're in your upright position. Make sure your knees are lined up with your hips so you feel that connection to your body, that alignment in this neutral position. Hands are going to come here to the shoulders. We're creating those wings. Let's make some circles. Big circles. Just try to get as much range of movement, explore as much range of movement as you can. Let's go the other way as well. So changing the direction of your movement. We notice how our mind might resist that. It's just awareness of how that goes. And then lift those elbows up and grab hold of your elbows. So you've got, your forearms and your sides, your upper arms are creating this frame for your head. You got that, your head just nicely placed in the frame. Now stomp into your feet, feel the strength of your legs. I want you to really drive your sit bones into the chair and see if you can feel a shift in your low back, stabilization of your low back by pressing the sit bones into the chair, really feeling that connection, strong legs, but especially the sit bones to stabilize the low back so that we can bend side to side with a nice stable back, nice base, side to side.
So you might have to do that time and time again where, you press your sit bones in and then you start moving and you forget about it, or it loses its connection. So just keep going back there, connect to that, and then add your movement back into it. Keep that low back stable. Hold one. So once you're ready, just hold that. Press the sit bones in. Feel your feet to the ground. And see if you can just breathe from there. You feel all sorts of engagement in the lower part of your body to support this upper body movement. Press the sit bones to the chair, feet to the ground. Let's come back up. Try the other side. I like that upper arm laying right into my side of my head, right by my ear. That just I feel like my neck is being completely taken care of. Now back to the lower body, you'd want to press the sit bones in, get your feet connected here too. Now deepen that breath. Soften something, relax something. Let's come back up, reach up and all the way around. Let's do 2 more of those little back strokes, big old back strokes. As far back as you can get them. Find that range of movement. We're going to shrug up and release, and shrug and release. And I want you to do that several times. Shrug and release. So if you want to pick up the pace with that, okay with me, because I want to let's do it several times. See if you can do 10 of them. Shrug and release, tension, and then release. Don't forget to breathe. Do not hold your breath here. Excellent. Let's relax the arms. So let's make sure our arms are supported. So we're not going to let our hands hang. Let's get our arms on our laps so that our arm, just the weight of the arm has been minimized a bit. So we can move the head around now, circular direction. Use your chin to make that movement, to kind of define that movement. It's a slowly drawn circle. It's big, it's broad, and it's really mindful. Keep your belly pulled in. So you feel really strong and stable to support this movement. Like your whole body wants to cooperate with you to help ease the way for this improved range of movement in your neck. Stay with this very same direction. Don't change direction yet. Stay with it. Get really good at it. Big, broad circle. Feeling your way through your neck, letting your strong stability of your lower body support that. Find your breath cycle now. Feel the inhale and the exhale. Feel it all. The next time your chin drops towards your chest, take a little pause there. Interlace your hands behind your skull, kind of squeeze your elbows toward each other, and let the weight of your arms give you a stretch to the back of the neck as you're just surrendering to it. It's just heavy arms. You don't need to do a lot of pulling. You're just letting the weight of the arms provide all the stretch you need. And then just notice how when you take your hands away, that was an increase of stretch. Let's change the direction of the circle. Go slow, find your way. I know if you just go back to the same thing and you'll think, oh, this is kind of familiar. Let's just change the direction when you find that. I got to go really slow for me. Stability of the low back, pressing your sit bones into the chair. You feel the connection of that kind of strength to allow you to move with ease through your neck as your whole body
has joined in to support it. Couple more circles. Be patient. Breathe in and breathe out. You get so much more mileage if you remember to do that breathing while you're making these slow moves. And the next time your chin comes down to your chest, do the same thing where you interlace your hands behind your skull and you're going to bring your arms kind of together. We're going to bring ourselves folding down to touch those knees and then come back up. Press into your feet when you're coming back up. For sure, you're going to want to give yourself that boost. Last time. Folding forward. Press into your feet to bring yourself up. When you come up, reach your palms to the ceiling. So the feet are making that imprint and the palms are stretching up to the ceiling while the shoulder blades slide down the back. Deepen the breath. Keep your hands in this position. Let's say palms reach out to the side now, pressing through the palms. Spread your fingers apart and your palms are stretching to the wall side to side. One more time to the ceiling. Breathe in and breathe out. And when we bring the arms down, they're going to go right on back. It's like you're trying to touch the back wall. So we're just stretching back. Yeah, there's an end. It can't just continue. You find where you can, that's it. There's a stop sign. And then you just press your palms back there. Puff up your chest. Feel the stability of your low body to help this. And then release. And then let's bring the backside of our hands together. So we were really flexing. So we'll counter that pose by bringing the back of your hands together and your fingers just point down towards your lap. Just give that a little press. Then let's shake that out. Open and close, shake that out. Good. I'm going to turn to the side. I don't think you need to. I want you to see this from a side view. So we're going to extend those arms out. Start to reach forward. So you create that angle of your back body. Now press into your feet and it feels like your bottom floats up off the chair. It may or may not. Probably not, but it feels like that there's such engagement of the legs that you can feel that. Palms come together. We're going to do a twist here. So a left elbow can come to the outside of the right knee. And you still maintain that diagonal length of your spine as you've revolved yourself into this seated twist. It's a twist that's in the chair posture. That's a legitimate traditional pose, the Uttanasana. And you come back to center, and then you'll do the other side. So you're going to bring that right elbow to the outside of the left thigh or knee, and you're trying to find that same diagonal extension of your spine. Excellent. And then come back to center. Again, you don't need to adjust yourself, just that you see me sitting differently in the chair. You don't need to do that. I want you to practice coming up and out of the chair a couple times. Just practice coming up and out of the chair. Finding balance with that and core strength. And then bring palms together, just like you did. It's the prayer position. And this time we are going to squat, hovering our bottom over that chair seat. Keep
your body weight distributed into the sole, the surface of your feet. It's not just your heels. The body weight shifts back, but I still want you to feel some connection of toes to the ground here. Extend arms away from you if you can, rather than palms together in the prayer position. See if you can release that and reach out. And then we're going to bring ourselves back to the chair and just take a pause. Sit up tall in a mountain posture. Catch up with your breath. Practicing getting up and out of the chair. Trying to use your core strength and your own sense of balance. The timing of that is important. Don't do it so quickly that you lose any of that. And we're going to do that same chair squat where we hover the bottom above. And this time I'm going to extend arms up toward the ceiling a little bit as an option. Take it or leave it. Maybe you're going to prefer to keep your hands here or even hands on your thighs. What's the best choice for you? We've got a few varieties here to choose from. Let's deepen the breath. Remember the whole surface of your feet. Yes, primarily your body weight has shifted way back. Let's bring ourselves back to the chair seat. And then anything your body needs now to reset. So any sort of reset movement you need, catching up with your breath. And of course, we're ready to slide back into the backrest. So if there's any movement your body's kind of craving, now's the time to get that. And then start to simmer down, closing your eyes when you're ready. And just let that breath find its way back to a nice quieting rhythm of breath that's restful. It may take several breaths to get there. Don't worry, you can't hurry it. So just allow your body to find the restfulness now. Start to release and relax throughout your body. I recommend that you go to the place of your body where you always carry stress. Everybody seems to know that. They know where that is in their body. So go there first. Invite that part of you to love, just lovingly invite that to release and relax now. Let the chair hold it all. Like let go of that stress and let the chair hold it. I've just been using a particular breath practice for my meditation lately that I've just really appreciated. I wanted to share a little bit of that with you. That the inhale can be like a way of drawing into you love and light, or just like goodness, calmness, ease. I want to just fill myself with something like that: calm, ease, love, lightness of being. And you're filling yourself up with that. And when you exhale, you let that just permeate your heart. It's like you're not going to let any of it go. You want to let that exhale just let all of that energy that you drew in and pulled into you permeate into the heart, into the chest cavity. And, or, what if there's some trouble? Maybe there's something you just can't let go of, a story you're telling yourself that, or something, just this nagging, problematic darkness kind of like. What if you take a breath in to pull that darkness up and away from your body, get a hold of it. And when you exhale, you release it through the crown of your head to the cosmos. Just let it go. Let the chair hold you. Soften your mouth. You did really great work today. So healthy for you.
we can really claim those 4 primary intentions, which I'm going to call promises, the promises of yoga. Vibrant and healthy body, alert and focused mind, loving and compassionate heart, lightness of being. Let the chair hold you. Relax your back body. Relax your shoulders. Soften. The poem I've chosen from the book Go In and In by Dana Faulds is called Remember This. Vast and changeless, the ground of being is not rocked by ripples on the pond. The firmament from which we spring, the divinity at the heart of things, doesn't wax or wane with mind states or wither in the wind. We come from stronger stuff than feelings. Essence does not fail or fade, diminish or trade reality for illusion. We are wordless, wide, and wise beyond time. Within us is a flame of truth that never dies. Let that be the focal point of life. Let that be the light that guides us from the shadows. Bring your palms together at your heart space. Don't open your eyes yet. Let's rub our palms together. Now listen to me all the way through, just rubbing the palms, generating a bit of heat, that heart-centered heat. And interlace your hands and stretch your palms forward, right out in front of you. Palms stretching those interlaced hands forward, eyes are closed. And then we lift those palms toward the ceiling. Keep breathing. And then relax and soften your hands and bring your palms together at the heart center. Let's come away from the backrest, so just come forward a bit. Palms are there, your thumbs, you can feel your thumbs at your sternum. Now find a full breath cycle in and out. Inhale, palms lift up overhead. Exhale, hands back at the heart. We bow into ourselves. Inhale, back up, lift up. Exhale, spread your arms wide and share that energy with those around you. Palms come back to the heart. We bow into ourselves and to one another. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining me, and please subscribe to my channel.
Okay.